What's up, everybody? Hello, folks. I've been saying what's up, everybody. Welcome to Nateland. We are glad you're here. Right before we get started, I do want to acknowledge we do obviously realize that the world is crazy and a lot of stuff is going on. And look, as I always said with this podcast, we are here to be a distraction. If you need a distraction, I think you do need it at some times. I think if you're just watching the news all day long, you can drive yourself crazy. And if you need a break, our job is to be that break. So, of course, we realize stuff is going on, but that's not what we're here to do. And the way I've looked at us, we're like the band that plays on the Titanic. Like, we're just the music as the ship sinks.
Gentlemen, it's been an honor podcasting with you guys.
Yeah, it's been an honor. So try to be as sane as possible out there. Be normal if you need a break. Obviously, that's what we're here for. But I didn't, because then people are like, "Why are you not gonna?" None of the regular folks say that, but sometimes you get people like, "Oh, we can't." They just want it to be like everything's got to be the thing that they're looking up, you know.
Yeah.
But just scroll by us if you're in if news, and I think it's good. If you're in a real news hunt, then just slide right by us.
Mm-hmm.
Never would be upset about that. But maybe you need a break, which a lot of people should be taking breaks. Get crazy. So welcome. We're glad you're here. Podcast about nothing. The Titanic band thing's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I like that. That's a great analogy, actually.
Yeah. I was thought about, as we continue to describe what we are, I was like, that is just because that band plays and you are like, why are they playing? You're like, why not? What do you want them to do?
Mm-hmm.
You want him to grab something like, enough people are saving the world. You just need someone to be like, look at that. You tell the kids, look, the song's going. Yeah. And they're like, oh. Would you ever sit there and watch that band? What if you just were on the Titanic and you're like, it's happening, I'm going to enjoy your show?
Were they good?
I mean, I think you're not being picky at that as the ship goes down. I don't think if you're on the Titanic and it's going down, you're not like, this is not good.
Are these guys any good?
Your options are not just through the roof. You're like, let's go see if there's another band playing. Maybe there's another band playing on the other side of the ship. I think you're just happy to.
That's a good point.
Have something. I bet they're amazing. Yeah. I bet you would go there if you ate food. If someone said, "Try this steak," as the ship went down, you would go, "That's one of the best steaks I've ever had." Because it might be the last.
You don't want to be too good though. They'd be like, "You going to get on this escape route?" No, man. I'll finish this song.
Obviously. What if they go, can we get on a boat? You're like, you guys are killing it what you're doing, man. Just stay over there, as everybody goes away. It would be if everybody does get off the boat and then you're like, oh, we could have got off. You're like, yeah, you should have got off. I don't know why y'all kept playing. No one was even listening to the music. So there's that aspect. Maybe they shouldn't be playing and they should get on a boat and get saved.
Some guy wrote an original and he wanted to play it.
He goes, all right, we're going to play the news. We're going to play some of our news stuff. Boo. Like, do you play the hits or do you play your new stuff? With that? I think you got to play the hits.
Yeah.
Can't just think, I want to try something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to start off, as always, with your comments. We love hearing from all you guys. Comments on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Apple Podcast reviews, and Nateland at Bargatze.com. First up, Dan Sterling. Maybe?
I think so.
Sterling. S-T-Y-R. Sterling. Dan Sterling. With everything going on, sometimes I just need to turn off my brain, and this podcast is the perfect answer for that. It reminds me of turning on reruns of The Office to fall asleep. That's who we are. It always brings a smile to my face and is so comforting. Nate, you are supremely talented and incredibly funny. One of my absolute favorite comedians, Aaron Barnaby. Hope you're doing well. That's so great. That's such a funny. Hope you guys are good, man. Did you have your show?
No, it's
Wednesday.
Tonight.
So when you're hearing this, if you haven't got tickets, Zanies.
Yeah, man.
Aaron Weber, like the grill Weber, is at Zanies. Noah stopped in the middle of his. Noah Stalka. We had a dog named Noah. No offense, Noah. No, people take that offense. My buddy Rich Day, his wife's name's Holly, which we're friends with his wife. Her name's Holly, and so we have a Holly. But do people get
I'd be honored
if they named a dog after you? Though?
Yeah, I think so.
Aaron would be a weird dog name.
Oh, would that be weirder than Holly?
Aaron, come here. If you go yell out Aaron.
Sounds like you're growling. Aaron.
I mean, you could just say it regularly too. You don't have to.
Hey, Aaron. Here's our dog, Aaron. If you walked in and I said, "Oh, let me introduce you to Aaron," no one's going to think, "Oh, a dog's about to come." But I guess Holly would be.
I like human names for dogs. Always make me laugh, though.
Yeah.
I had a dog named Franklin, and it always cracked me up.
Franklin's not bad, but
Yeah.
Jim. If you named the dog Jim,
Jim might be too human. You know,
I wonder if anybody had a Jim dog.
Yeah.
Here's Jim.
We just got a puppy and we were deciding the name. We were
Mhm.
reading about it. It said, make sure you don't call them by anything close to a command you may also be giving them.
Yeah.
So if it's sit, don't name your dog
Yeah.
Sid.
Sid.
Don't name
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Sid.
Yeah.
Is Jim close to something that you're telling your dog to do?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just.
Telling the dog to work out. Dog's getting a little big during COVID.
That's interesting. I don't know that.
Noah Stalkup. This episode started with the worst topic so far and ended up being the best episode so far. It makes me wonder how bad of a topic can Nate, Bravo, and Aaron work with. Personally, I'd love to see an episode on light switches. I would love to try to do an episode on light switches.
Yeah, me too.
I do like that. It's you got to go to it because I always think if one of the folks if someone introduces our podcast to them, I mean it's definitely got to be explained. It can't be like, now check this podcast out and you walk away. You got to be like, nah, you gotta stick with it. You're gonna watch an episode on calendars, and they're like, I don't care, and you're like, they don't either.
Yeah.
To be honest, you're watching everybody not care about calendars, but it works for some reason.
Yeah.
You just, this is what being a comedian is. You got to just have stuff to talk about to be funny. Obviously, the main point of this podcast is to have jokes and laugh. So we got to talk about something, and it just can't be. And when you try not to keep it serious, you got to talk about calendars. Meg Scoville. Nate is one of my favorite comedians. However, no unscripted podcast needs to be over an hour. In my opinion, this podcast would benefit from tighter editing. That's a attack on our editors.
Yeah.
They're
You
all
guys
in the
do it.
room, and they're could tighten it up a little bit.
I think as of now, there's zero editing, right? So
They take out some stuff. Brian's rarely shown in this podcast. So
I've never watched it. I just
Yeah.
assumed I was in there.
Yeah, it's just blurred.
Blur my face.
Not just the top of your head. They just gotta get some. It looks
take the
like
shine off.
Sundog. Nate, Aaron, and Sundog over there. Just. That's great. Thank you, Meg, for your. I do love it. You do take advice or criticism. I think it's good. But Meg, you can turn off now because we read your quote. So I don't. With it being over an hour, I get it. It's one of those. It is a weird thing that you think should it be just quicker and tighter. But then it's like, no, I mean, it's because it's like, well, just don't listen to it.
yeah, you can turn it off after an hour if Meg's on a tight schedule.
Meg's busy.
Yeah, you can just turn it off.
I mean, if you skip the comments,
Yeah,
if you don't want to read comments, is 20, 30 minutes. So skip that, and you're roughly at an hour.
hmm
Then, and it's but it's unscripted. It is unscripted. What if it was? We're like, well, Meg, we are pretty on script. I don't know what she's talking about.
It'd even be worse.
Yeah. I think we would be too. It would be too tight. 2 hours is. Yeah. I mean, I think people listen throughout the week. That's what you do. Podcasts are kind of coming. They're just always there.
Yeah.
When I listen to them, I've been doing it with movies lately at night. I don't want to watch the whole thing, so I just started. I started this movie with Jason Statham, Redemption. It's on
Yeah.
Netflix. And it's Jason Statham, so you're like, all right, this will be just a fun. And it's like he's trying to get serious,
Mm.
and it's tough. It's like when you're like, just do the thing. He still does the thing he does. There's some fight scenes,
Yeah.
but I started. You're like, it's a long road to see that first fight, and but I feel like it's Jason Statham going, no, but I'm a good actor, and you're like, yeah. No one's not saying that, but you can't, you're not Tom Hanks, Jason. So let's just kind of do what you do. All right.
Redemption from the creator of Eastern Promises. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I promise it's not.
That's a weird
I
credit
promise
to
it's
use.
better than Redemption. That's what its promises are. Matt Griffey. I completely lost it at the Juicy Fruit 5 joke. Bisquick coming in hot with great one-liners. Loving the podcast more and more each week. Thank you, Matt. That was a good one. Juicy Fruit 5. Mark Johnson, the check writing bit using the animal of the year from the Chinese calendar for the date, to me, is the best moment from these podcasts. Genius comedy minds. Thanks, Nick, Aaron, and Brochure for making us all laugh and forget what we've all been going through. He did it, everybody.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Brochure is pretty good. Brochure is that's a funny word.
Yeah.
Brochure. It's spelled funny and it sounds funny. All right.
That's fair.
Yeah. Mark gets it because he's a comedy, because he's also, me and Mark are on the same wavelength. SkyWest 7. I'm an airline pilot and I started off the PA before landing with, hello, folks. No idea if anyone got the joke. Going to assume they didn't, but it made me laugh, and that's really all that matters. Keep up the good work. I love it. Yelled hello, folks. I don't know if anybody would have. That would have been great. Oh,
That would be.
no one would put it together because people say, I've seen folks everywhere now. You see people say it a lot more when you notice it. Then you're like, oh, a lot of people say folks.
Yeah.
Hello, folks. That would be a good greeting on a plane.
Yeah.
Maybe right before you hit the mountain. Hello, folks. Sorry to bother you, but we are about to hit a mountain. And it's like, wow, that message took a turn. I thought,
goodbye, folks.
Yeah. Goodbye, folks. Hello, folks. We're about to hit a mountain. Goodbye, folks. Seth Essendrop. The Jewish calendar's only appearance. It's only appearance. Like it's a Star Wars character. The Jewish calendar's only appearance was in a classic Weber comment that went completely unnoticed and everyone else rushed to get their point across. How could you not talk about the fact that Jewish kids get to celebrate 2 separate birthdays every year? That's gold, Jerry. It's gold. That's just off the top of my head, and there's got to be a lot more to discover, but it feels like Birmingham melded in this week. As crazy as it sounds, I think you should do a sequel calendar episode to remedy the situation. I mean, I love Meg's like, y'all got to tighten it up, and Seth's like, y'all should do calendar part 2. Meg and Seth. Just get them together in a room and just see. She's like, I don't know. We need both of them as the producers also on the podcast. Just be like, what do you guys think? And Meg's just constantly trying to go, I mean, what are we doing? They have 2 birthdays? And Jewish kids get 2 separate birthdays?
I don't know. My fiance is Jewish. That's how I knew about their calendar. I don't. She doesn't celebrate 2 birthdays, so I don't know. I don't know what that's all about.
Maybe Seth melded in.
Yeah. Oh.
I take offense to that comment.
Yeah. Brochure is upset.
Birmingham.
Yeah. Brochure is getting upset. Birmingham. Missy Safner. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I usually skip through the ads, but that isn't the case with Nate trying to sell me things. I sometimes laugh harder at the ads because it seems like it may be the first time Nate is reading it. It cracks me up to think that a company is paying you to sell their product, and Nate is like, "Yeah, I got this," and then he doesn't got this. But to be fair, it's working, and I have a lot of cereal in my cupboard now. Thanks for all you guys are doing to make the world laugh. Magic spoon. That's what she's got. That's it is. Like, we're not gonna lie, we've had some companies. They've reached back out and they are like, I mean, we're gonna get down to just companies that are like, big. Like they just choose easy word companies. We can't do anything complicated. Just basic kind of stuff. Hello, guys. Have you ever tried out a pencil? You write with it, and it's a pencil. It's just
What was the one you said he did last week that someone pointed out?
Oh, somebody pointed out in the comments where it was the Helix sleep pad where it was the deluxe edition, and he said the Dusk Loose edition, and none of us caught it because we're like, no way, he meant to say deluxe.
Yeah, Dusk Loose.
I just thought it was a brand of mattress.
There's not a lot of dust. Dust or dusk?
Dusk Loose.
Dusk.
Loose, yeah.
So it's like a night.
Exactly.
It's for the person that goes to bed a little earlier than most. And they get a little loose. Yeah, Helix. Yeah, guys, just go buy this stuff and help us out because they are all going to back away from this podcast. Like you guys got to help me out, all right? I need y'all to just be buying this stuff. Just kind of get the name that I say and then just go with it and say he's doing great. Let him know we like what he's selling, but we can't understand. Why would they give you all this reading? I read it before. Laura went and typed it out easier.
Yeah.
Laura goes through it. That's Laura's work, is just going, what I make her take all the apostrophes at any grammar. I'm like, don't put that in there. When I read, I need if the words don't, we get a low battery. Oh, on the phone. Just throw that. We got a landline that's Wi-Fi.
What? How does that work? It's a Wi-Fi call.
Yeah. So, but it's like that's not the point of it, right? That's like that might as well have a cell phone. I said get a we want a landline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Laura said they don't do that anymore, which I don't believe at all. That was their answer to it. Well, they don't make those anymore. Like, well, they have to.
Yeah.
Landlines have to be still being made.
Yeah, I would think so.
And she goes, they don't.
When was the last time you talked on it? You talked on a landline?
The main reason is for when I do radio calls.
Yeah.
So when you have to call and do radios, it's just better to have that phone is still better than
the sound quality on a normal phone is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so when you call and have to do other radio stuff, it's better to actually do a landline. But that's why I would want an actual landline. Laura just got another cell phone number. She did this weekend. She ordered. We're having some construction done in our house. So Laura orders pizza for the construction workers. Being very nice. Laura always puts baskets out for the delivery guys with waters and stuff, and then gives the construction guys stuff too. And so she ordered pizzas, 3 large pepperoni pizzas at 3 p.m., which is when most of America does not eat lunch. But she figured late night snack. They thought, whatever, they would get it, and they've been working hard all day. And right before the pizza gets here, we watch them all leave. So then we just have 3 large pepperoni pizzas. They just all come. They drove by the pizza guy.
Oh yeah.
And Laura just spent $60 on pizza, and then they're just like, well, I guess we're eating pizza for the next month. Ashley Sandu, my dad and many family members are friends. Oh, and friends. Sorry. My dad and many family members and friends work at Eastman Chemical Company. The headquarters are in Kingsport, Tennessee. He followed the Eastman calendar at work until the mid to late 80s.
Wow.
It's a long time. Yeah. That guy, just the explanation of that to other regular people.
Yeah, a few people commented that Kodak was just a name he invented because he liked the K sound.
Yeah.
So he put it on the front and the back. So Eastman was the man.
Yeah. Oh, for Kodak.
Yeah.
It wasn't like an Eastman and then a Kodak.
No, he created Kodak.
Yeah.
And it's huge in Kingsport, the Eastman Chemical Company. A few people commented they liked the calendar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Said it made it easier with payroll and stuff.
Oh.
They used it. Well, the main days were all still right?
I think they had like 28-day calendar, like the first day of the week.
Yeah.
It's always going to start on the first or something like that.
It just causes a mess. Just can you go on Mouse Tuesday? Okay. Which calendar is it? Tuesday? Your Tuesday or my Thursday? What time do you want to? It's when you have to set up calls in different time zones. Danny Pritchard, Aaron, your foot pain sounds like gout. I'm 66 years old and just started experiencing gout in my foot, and it is an identical feeling to what you described. I'm much older than you. You're a big boy. And obesity is something that can cause gout. I'm sorry, dude. That is like, I mean, Danny Pritchard just said, Aaron, can I talk to you privately for a second? And set you down and goes, I don't know how to tell you this, man.
I will say, if you sent me a message or a DM or an email about the fact that I might have gout, I'm sorry I haven't responded. I got dozens of messages.
Yeah.
People say I need to get my uric acid level checked.
Yeah.
When I get a doctor, I'll be sure to do that. But I need to get a doctor first.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll be all right. But thank you, everybody.
Go to a drive-in or what? Go to Walgreens and just go up to the front and go, "How you doing? I think you can ask the cashier. Hey,
not even the pharmacy, just the cashier in the front.
Can you test my uric acid?
Hey, my left foot hurt. You think it's gout?
Hey, I'm not even 30 yet, and I might have gout. So can you take a look at that, please?
And she's gonna go. That makes sense. I think you got your answer there. You don't need a doctor. You just mention it here. We got doctors on here.
Yeah, we do.
So you just say what your problems are, and then I think this is, if gout feels like the higher percentage.
Yeah.
Was there any other fun
Yeah,
ones?
there was. There was diabetes and just nerve damage in general, I think.
Oh, yeah.
A few others.
I mean, this is worse than looking it up online. Because it's just, I mean, just everybody gets the, but everyone wants to make sure you're fine.
Yeah.
What is gout? Yeah, gout's a tough one. That's tough to say.
All I know about gout is that it's in the Adam Sandler Lunch Lady song. He says that the lunch lady has gout.
Yeah.
And that put kind of a stigma on it for me personally.
Yeah, you don't want it.
So I hope I don't have it.
You don't have it, but
I'll get it checked out just for everybody's peace of mind.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't see how you don't have it.
Did you cancel your gym membership?
Oh no, but somebody commented that I could do that with a letter.
Mail them a letter.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is, I'm not sure if that's easier.
Hello, folks at Planet Fitness. My name is Aaron Weber, as in the grill. And I would like to cancel my fitness plan with you. As you might have noticed, I can't really remember even which building I signed up at. Never been. Also found out I have gout. So having trouble standing on my foot. Sorry, dude. Sign Danny Pritchard. For Aaron Ware. Jeff Macalino. You were talking about doctors in the pod today and made me think of mine. I've had a new doctor for the last couple years, and during my annual physicals, he pulls up. I can't read fast. That's the problem. I get ahead of my, Right.
Well, we're not in a rush.
Yeah, we got time.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's why I get.
Meg may not like
going.
But
we get moving, and then I get started off wrong. During my annual physicals, he pulls up Google to look things up. Last year, he Googled a cream I could use for sunspots. This year, I couldn't hold back my laughter as he gave me a test he found on Google to see if I should be diagnosed with alcohol abuse disorder. I passed the test. Apparently, Google can replace medical school. Jeff, you might need a new doctor. That's I mean, very funny.
Yeah.
That this guy, you're like, did you go to med school? He's like, I mean, I Googled a med school thing and I went and did it. That's very funny just to be, that'd be a joke if Jeff's a comedian. Because, I mean, just so funny to be like, as he looks, he's like, huh. Like, hey, my left foot hurts. He goes, and grabs his phone. You're like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just looking at And then he goes, looks like you have gout.
Yeah.
Well, alcohol abuse. I mean, that's a serious problem. You may be an alcoholic. Let me Google.
Yeah.
No? Guess you're all right.
Reminds me
what
of
was the test? He goes, all right, I found a test for alcohol abuse disorder. Are you an alcoholic? He goes, no. He goes, oh, I guess you passed the test. God, all right. All right. Well, I'm out of ideas.
You remember The Office where he does an intervention for Meredith and he's just reads something he printed off? Have you ever questioned the teachings of the Mormon church? They're like, where'd you get this on? He's like, Google, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's funny.
Matthew Carr, my family had a history of high blood pressure, which reared its head in me when I was 25. My new doctor told me to buy a cuff and keep a log of my blood pressure for about a month prior to putting me on medication. Being too much of a go-getter, I did so. I meticulously logged blood pressure by arm. Oh, God. This is getting embarrassing. I think, he gave us, this is a big one, Matthew. I feel like this is a test for me to see if I have brain damage. Like this is all just words that are just trying to see. Yeah, I'm going to have gout. Gout in your head. And you're like, can you get in your head? I meticulously logged blood pressure by arm, by time of day, and any other number of ridiculous categories. I even ran statistics on the numbers to find patterns. When I came back from my follow-up visit, I gave the doctor the document. He gave a brief look and asked, "What do you want me to do with this?" After telling me I need to calm down, I left. About 2 months later, I got a letter from the doctor that he was leaving the practice and taking a select group of patients with him. To no one's surprise, I was not one of them. I'm not sure which is more impressive, driving a doctor to scorn in our first meeting or receive a personalized breakup letter after the second. You know, that's funny that the doctor would. I would want to know if he sent anybody a letter that says he wasn't moving on.
He's still there. He just wants him to think he left.
Yeah, but like does he break up does he have to write a letter to all the other people? Like, do you have to tell him, or does he just go, you can either tell him or not tell him. He goes, I don't want to tell him. He goes, oh, you know what? I'll tell one. Let me write one. Dear Matthew Carr, I'm rethinking my life because of you. All right, that's it. Thank you guys so much as always for reading or for writing down the comments. You can always write them. We read them. I read them, and the long ones are tough.
Yeah,
multiple sentences we get rolling, but got through it. Another day. So today we're talking. You can talk about calendar. I mean, we're talking about nothing.
Yeah.
But so we Brian had an idea with going through. Let's talk about the states.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're not going to just do a complete run of every episode of states, but we're gonna we'll try to get through all 50 states, and it'll be fun to learn about these states. I'll be able to have some guests that are from states, and then you can hear us talk about your state. And we've been kind of keeping. We did a random state picker online. One way we might do a bowl. I'm not sure where we draw names. We're just still figuring that out. We don't want to tell y'all before because we don't want a bunch of stuff added into this. It's like the idea of this is to let us go through it and be as stupid as possible.
Yeah.
And then you get it, as always, you get to tell us next week if you're from this place that you could be like, you guys are nuts, or maybe you guys get it. So we did the random state thing. I think we posted it on the Nateland Instagram last week, or social media.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first state up is Rhode Island, which is a good state to start with. So we're going to learn a little about Rhode Island. I've been to Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done shows up there.
Is there a comedy club?
Man, what?
Comedy Connection.
Comedy
Oh,
Connection.
okay.
Oh yeah.
In Providence?
Providence, Rhode Island. I've been to
Yep.
Providence. I've been to Rhode Island a ton, actually.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Maine real fast in my head. I mean, that's what I put, as we were talking Rhode Island, I'm picturing Maine.
Yeah.
Providence, Rhode Island, I've been to a million times. There's a great comedy club, Comedy Connection there. It's in an old bank, and they have a big safe. The green room is in the old
The
safe,
vault?
the vault.
That's cool.
And so, but a great club. And last time I did it, the Falcons, because it's near where the Patriots play. And so the Falcons stayed at there's a hotel at the mall, and the Falcons were all at the hotel. Saw Julio Jones, Matt Ryan. But Providence got a cool little walking area. Their downtown is very cool. Yeah, I've been there a bunch. They have a nonstop flight. I want to say it's to Providence. This could be Connecticut. I'm not positive, but from LA. And it was like every Thursday, and because I took it once, And I remember just like, what are the odds that you can do nonstop from LA to Providence? That's, it doesn't make sense. Like New York is nearby. You
Mhm.
just think you'd have a layover, and there's one flight because it could be Connecticut. I could be messed up, but there's a lot of money up there.
Yeah.
So a lot of people fly to LA, I guess.
I've never been to Rhode Island, but I have a Providence story. I don't know if you remember this or not. There's a Providence
Yes,
shopping
I do
mall,
remember it.
sister.
In Mount Juliet, there's a Providence Mall.
Yeah, and there's a movie theater, Providence 14 in Mount Juliet. And I went online to buy Spider-Man tickets or something.
We went together, right?
But maybe. But I accidentally bought tickets for Providence, Rhode Island.
Yes.
Online.
Yeah.
And then I think I called them or something to see if I could cancel. And they you got to come in person. And then a few weeks later, you were in Providence doing a show. And I think you went by there to see if you could get my tickets for me.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let you.
Yeah. You just bought at the wrong Providence. Did
Pretty
I talk
far
about
off.
this? There's a Did I talk about this before? And there's a this Japanese restaurant here, that I go to in Nolensville. If anybody's, and it's very good. But they get there's a one in New York.
Yeah.
So I watched a guy sit outside and wait for his order, and he's like, they go, "We don't have your order." He goes, "Did you call New York's?" And he looks, he goes, "Yeah." And so he had to order again, and then call the New York place and like, "Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna make that order." Like it's I'm way off.
Yeah, I'm thousands of miles away.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Rhode Island?
No, I totaled it up last night. I've been to 42 states out of
Wow.
50. Rhode Island is one that I have not been to.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I've been to, I think everyone. I always can't remember. I've never been to Montana, North Dakota, and maybe I've been to North Dakota. I've been to so many places I forget. Alaska. I want to say that's it. I've been to South Dakota, and then I can't remember. I think I've been to everyone but like North Dakota and Alaska and Montana, and that's it. Those are 3 I want to go to.
Well, like you said, we just did this randomly, state picker, and Rhode Island came up. And as I started doing research, I was like, this might have been a mistake.
Yeah.
I got some stuff on here I hope we do not get to.
Yeah.
If we do, things have gone terribly wrong.
Yeah.
So Rhode Island, smallest state in the U.S.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I know about it. It's distance north to south, 48 miles. East to west, 37 miles.
That's crazy.
Think about how small that is.
Yeah, 48 miles and 37 miles.
That's like from here to Lebanon.
Yeah.
Wilson
That's
County.
where, how many people work there that don't live there? There might be a ton. You don't, because if it's 40 miles long or wide, whatever.
North to south, it's 48
Yeah.
miles.
So, you're in 37 side. You could just live right outside and go drive, and you'll be 15 miles to the middle,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could easily not live in Rhode Island. It almost would make more sense.
Yeah, Providence is right on the edge too. You see, so
So most people don't even.
You're probably 5 minutes from whatever this state is.
Now it's the
Massachusetts.
It's the smallest state by size. It's the second most densely populated state, though, in the country. They've got over 1 million people there in Rhode Island.
What are they doing?
What's the most dense?
New Jersey.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
New Jersey's that packed, and Rhode Island is. Rhode Island as well that packed.
Yeah.
God, that's
Packed in
crazy.
there, man.
Yeah.
They only have 5 counties and like 39 cities, but they're pretty good sized places.
It's a lot going on.
Do you think people from Rhode Island are against DC statehood because then they'd no longer be the smallest state?
I don't know. If
Like they like being the smallest state.
I think you got to take pride
Yeah.
in what you got.
Yeah, and you're like, we're the smallest state.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then if you're the second, nobody cares about the second smallest state.
No, what's the second smallest state?
Yeah, we don't even know. We don't even care to look it up.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out eventually.
We'll find out eventually. Here's the second smallest state. And the third smallest state, you can like, well, we don't even talk about that. We move on about other things.
Yeah.
But what would the second smallest state be?
I bet it's one of those New England, maybe
Maine, something.
Delaware or something like that.
Yeah.
Connecticut, maybe. That's my guess.
Connecticut's big
I mean, it's kind of big.
Yeah.
compared to Rhode Island.
Oh, Delaware, definitely bigger than Delaware.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. They might not like it. That's something to hang your hat on. Welcome to the smallest state in the U.S.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think.
Yeah. We don't need to be that big. We get enough done. You know?
Yeah. How much land do you guys need?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it got its name, Rhode Island. I mean, there is an island there. Most of it's mainland, but there is an island there called Rhode Island. And it got its name because explorers, there's two theories. One said because the island has red clay, road means red. And the other is because it reminded an explorer of an island in Greece called Rhode. So when they came there, they just named it Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take that guy to get there? You know? Just to get there and go, this reminds me of the road in Greece. He's like, when were you in Greece? 45 years ago? I mean, like, I've been coming here for most of this time.
He's probably mad. He's
Yeah.
like, I could have just stayed home.
He's like, imagine just that long of a travel. I mean, how long would it take them to travel?
Yeah.
That long of a travel just to get here. And how frustrating would it be to be next to that guy? And he goes, you know what this reminds me of? That road in Greece. And you're like, dude, that's not what I want to hear when we've traveled for 5 years to get here.
My family's dead.
Yeah. I mean, we've lost people on this ride. And then you're going to just immediately get off and go, oh, it tastes like every other restaurant I've ever been to. You're like, oh, you add a little bit to it, man. Like, you know, it's got to be, that guy's a nightmare. Just to go. This reminds me of a road in Greece. Does it?
So when English settlers came there to settle it, they made a deal with the Native Americans and purchased the area that's now Providence. Providence is the state capital. It's the largest city in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Do they negotiate with the Native Americans?
I tried to find what the Indians got for
Just
it.
want the whole. What's the process like that? How you doing, Ben Johnson? Love what you're doing here. Reminds me of a place at home, actually. And he goes, not a big deal. He goes, what's that? He goes, anyway. Yeah. We'd love to make an offer for this land. It's purchasing a big land.
The founder of Rhode Island, Roger Williams, at first he didn't tell the King of England that he purchased this land. He's like, we got it from the Indians. It's not their business. But then things started taking off, and he's like, all right, I got to tell somebody. So
like it started becoming a big bustling city.
Yeah, like things are happening here.
Yeah, and the phone was invented.
This is Providence.
He's like, this is for, yeah, he's like, they're like, you know, we can make phone calls back home now. What's that? Like how much he was like, you can just contact him pretty easy. He goes, yeah, we got him on the phone right now. You want to talk to him? He's like, and I kind of started my own world. I mean, it's like when Kramer sits in for when Jerry leaves and Kramer dresses up like Jerry and changes an apartment and he's like, hello. He goes, what are we got this? And then someone comes back, what are you doing over there, man? You've been gone for quite a while. Because when they would leave on these trips, they'd be gone for
they usually didn't even go back home.
Yeah.
But settlers, they settled in the U.S.
So your job was a settler.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm a settler. So your job was like, I'm going to go, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Some of them came back, right?
I guess some of them did.
Did like Columbus? He went back, didn't he?
Well, he was an explorer. He wasn't a settler.
Oh, okay.
That's different.
Yeah, so he was everywhere.
Yeah.
That's their thing. Track that guy down.
These are
He was all
people
over the
that came over like the Pilgrims
Right.
to live and to make a new world.
Uh-huh.
So finally things were taken off and he had to go back to the king and say, we need a patent for a new colony.
When they say go back to the king, it's always written in a sentence. So he had to run back to the king. You're like, this is not he would like, if we told him the story, how quick we would brush over it. He's like, wait a second. Y'all just said, I went back to the king. He goes, dude, I lost 8 guys. I mean, he goes, I had to hunt a whale and try to drag it in the boat and eat it. It's the worst time of my life. And y'all just go, so we ran back, talked to the king, told him, he came back. And you're like, this was 9 years of my life.
Yeah.
Was just this going back and forth.
And it's probably not easy to just get an audience with the king whenever you want.
Yeah.
Once you get back over there.
Once you get back, yeah. I mean, when your boat, your boat lands up and you're like, you just get off the boat like a plane. He goes,
Slept the whole way.
He goes,
there.
all right, the king's ready to see. He goes, I need like 2 months to
regroup.
I need to get my apartment. I've left my dog. I just let it go. See if I can find that thing.
The king granted the colony, and they originally called it Providence Plantations because plantation means colony in England. So for first 20 years, it was called Providence Plantations instead of Rhode Island. And then, once they became a state after the Revolutionary War, it was called the State of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations.
Guy wouldn't let go of that Providence plantation. He goes, no, it's still doing that. You're like, yeah, but
You know when? Do you know when they let it go?
I want to say it wasn't
Probably
very
recently.
recently,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
2 months ago.
Yeah.
Up to
Oh,
two,
really?
2 months
'Cause
ago.
You can't say plantation.
It was
anymore.
called State of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. Yes.
Wow.
They've been trying forever to get rid of it. They voted in 2010 and it failed because they were like, plantation doesn't mean what you think. It means colony. But finally, this past election, it barely won 52.8 to 47.2. They changed the name just to Rhode Island.
Wow.
That's someone's just because they go eventually. Look, you got to pull someone aside and go, "Hey, it's 2020. You can't say anything anymore." And no one's calling it that.
Yeah, dude.
You know, no one even knows this.
Uh-huh.
You know it. It's a matter of, and I get it, dude. That's how everybody should talk to everybody. Look, I get it, dude. I get why you want to do it, but where do you live at? He's Rhode Island. Exactly. You're not even saying it.
Yeah.
'Cause
I've never even heard of that.
It's a long thing to say.
Yeah.
You can't. Providence Plantation. You know, like, what are we doing? A lot of peas. Like, come on. You know, with a small state, we got that.
Yeah, we don't need the longest name.
We don't need.
You're the smallest
The
state.
name's longer than the state. By the time you get done saying it, I'm already half across the state. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. The official nickname is the Ocean State because it has many large bays and inlets.
There's probably a bunch of them.
Yep. State bird is the Rhode Island Red, which is a chicken.
Just a chicken as their bird. It is a chicken.
Yeah.
It's straight up a chicken.
Yeah. It's a rooster or roosters.
Who has sex with the rooster?
A chicken.
The rooster has sex with all of them.
Seinfeld. Yeah. It's a chicken. Roosters and hens are both chickens.
There's the Rhode Island Red. That's a good looking.
That's a good looking chicken.
Good looking hen.
Well, is it a hen?
I mean,
That's the one that looks like Kramer fought.
Isn't a hen just a male?
No, that's a female. A rooster is a male.
Yeah.
All right, let's back up a little bit.
boy.
And
That's a
the
good.
rooster, I just said it. Seinfeld. You learned it in Seinfeld. The rooster mates with all of them, the hen and the chicken.
Okay.
I don't know the difference of a hen and a chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, a hen is a little more mouthier. You know? Hen's little. A hen just never lets go. Yeah, oh God, should have married a chicken. To be honest, this hen is just all over me. It's just saying, it's never enough, is it, hen? It's never enough.
Oh,
Why would they make it I guess, yeah.
well, you know that
I bet by the time the guy that said our bird, why do you even have a state bird? I guess
every state does.
Every state has a bird. I would imagine when they made it the chicken, it was before they realized, like, oh, I could have done an eagle.
Well, they have a different. Well, yeah, you're right because that's state bird. They have state animals. That's the harbor seal. They have all kinds of.
they just thought they could choose like chickens and pigeons, and like I guess we'll do chickens.
I guess
man.
chickens, yeah, that's good. And then like 4 years later, someone's like, our state bird is a hawk. And you're like, we have those. He's like, hey, you should have done that. He goes, I didn't know we could do. I thought we had to like pick what I saw the most of. You mean you don't do that? He's like, no, you don't want to be. What do you mean, a chicken state?
You know the American bird was supposed to be a turkey for a long time, and then
that makes sense.
Thank God they chose the eagle because
The eagle's much cooler, but the turkey is, we're all kind of big. A lot of us have gout.
Maybe you should change to turkey.
Maybe you should change the turkey. Maybe we're having a little too much turkey, and that's how we're getting a little gout. You know what I mean? We had an eagle, I think, in our backyard. Did I ever say that?
I don't know.
a bald
In
eagle?
our old house. Yeah,
Oh,
a bald eagle.
I remember that.
A nest. Put a nest, and you just gotta let it. I mean, an eagle can just if an eagle wants to get in your house and just sleep in your bedroom, then you got to just move out of your bedroom. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. We have no control over the eagles.
Mm.
I
if
think
they want
legally you're not allowed to touch them, right?
If they want in your house, they get your house.
Yeah.
Like
An
the
eagle
goose.
comes in like
Yeah.
a goose.
Yeah.
You get an eagle in your house, just you move. You can try to negotiate with the eagle, but if he doesn't want to leave, the government's like, well, he's It's his living room now.
You can't touch him.
You can't touch him, and you got to watch TV and watch what he wants to watch. And let me tell you, he wants to watch. It's not pretty. You have to get the kids out of the room. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely not living this podcast. And this is not enough for him.
The current governor of Rhode Island is Gina Raimondo.
Yeah.
She was the first female governor ever when she was elected in
Yeah.
2014. But
That's
she's leaving
2014 was still the first.
for Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
not
not
America.
no,
yeah.
I was gonna
No.
say.
yeah.
For Rhode Island.
That's something though. She gets to say, she's like, I was the first woman governor of Rhode Island. And I bet everybody goes, oh, like America? And they go, she goes, no, but Rhode Island. I bet everybody, I bet if you talk to her, she's like, oh, that's all the time. I was the first woman governor of Rhode Island. Of America? It was of America? No. Because then it just, no. Just Rhode Island. She goes, oh, that's cool, man. That's what they say to her. That's cool, man. And she's like,
Defeats the purpose.
defeats the whole.
Ugh. She's leaving, though, to become U.S. Commerce Secretary.
Oh,
No.
So she's moving on up.
yeah.
Rhode Island has the highest density of electoral votes in any state,
Because they're the smallest.
but they have a lot of people for
Oh.
being so small, so therefore they have more electoral votes.
How many do they get?
I think 4,
Oh.
How many people are in Rhode Island? Is it
over a
Yeah.
million. A little bit over a
okay?
million.
So more than Wyoming, more than Montana,
Mm-hmm.
Alaska.
Is that under a million?
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah. I mean, you're just naming stuff that we're looking at a number. It's not a conversation about it. It's there's over a million. What was there
I'm
less
just
than a
putting
million
it
there?
into perspective because those states are enormous.
Yeah.
Those are enormous. Well, that's when everybody thinks we're all too crowded. You're like, go to Wyoming. There's room. There's plenty of room.
Yeah.
Go to these other places.
Yeah, get out of Rhode Island and you'll see.
Get out your notice that you're like, wow, there's a lot of room over here in Wyoming. Now you're in Wyoming.
Just signed a lease. During Prohibition, they were the only state that did not reject the ratification of the 18th Amendment banning alcohol sales. So they kept it.
So wait. So they can't buy alcohol, or they
No,
rejected the idea.
they rejected the idea. So during Prohibition, when it was against the law
Yeah.
to sell alcohol, they still did it.
I mean,
Wow.
could you just be like, the other places are like, wait, we can just say no? Like, how do you, they're like, yeah, just say no.
Yeah, I don't know. Seemed
Why
like
would other places not say no?
that's an excellent question. I should have researched it more. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, why would you would just say, yeah, I would just say no. Now looking back,
Yeah.
they go, yeah, we should have said no. Al Capone would have not got going.
Yeah.
Al Capone, like, I'm gonna start something crazy, like, oh, we're just gonna say no. He's like, oh, all right, and then he just becomes a banker. You know what I mean? Like, he has to get a regular job.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't drive it. Like,
Uh-huh.
he's just. I went to where Al Capone, the Valentine's Day massacre was.
Where was that?
In Chicago?
Was that
in Chicago.
Is that a bar there? Right?
No, it's
Yeah.
just a apartment building. It's like a parking lot
Mhm.
now, kind of, but it's where the building used to be, and that's where it was. So
I remember watching this thing on TV. It's in Chicago, right? It was in Chicago.
Yeah.
again?
Yeah.
There are bars where they had specially built booths for him
mhm,
where he could sit and see the whole room.
yeah,
Pretty crazy.
because I mean, someone's gonna come after
Right.
him.
Right. I do that, by the way, when I sit down
Yeah.
at a restaurant.
Yeah,
I don't like to have my back to the
No.
whole room.
yeah.
I like to be able to see the whole. I don't
Yeah,
know
me
what
too.
I think's going to happen, but
But
I'm
if
the
it
same
does
way.
happen,
mhm.
then you saw it right before everybody else.
Yeah.
You get to actually know you're about to get shot versus the other losers that had no idea that it was coming.
I won't be able to do anything to help, but
Yeah.
I'll see it happen.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, you're just gonna and a lot of people like.
Do you think
they,
that's
they
a-
tell you to do that? Like, you're supposed to always kind of be.
Do you think that's a male instinct, or is that?
I find it more in men than
Yeah.
women.
Yeah, you ask a lot of them. That can't be a conversation. Yeah, I mean, he's just polling. It's actually I bring it up quite a bit in large groups. I go, you guys looking around, see what's going on versus not. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine it's
Uh-huh.
but I mean, anybody can be paranoid. So it could be in a lot of
I don't think
people.
it's paranoia. I think it's like I don't know.
For me, it's paranoia.
Oh, is
like
it?
a caveman
I think so.
feeling that you're just like
I think
feel-
cavemen the men probably slept facing the
Someone's
entrance
behind you right now.
entrance
Been
to
back
the
there the whole
cave.
time. You ever know?
No,
that?
dude, because I checked it.
Yeah.
There's nobody back there.
I think there's a lot of. I think that stuff is like getting weaned out though. Of like, what was I? You watch like the way men were along, like your dad, our dad, your grandparents, and all like the way like families and the structure. It's so different now.
Mm-hmm.
And to now, there's a lot of men that are moms. Like, what are they like? They stay home with the kids.
Stay-at-home dads.
Stay-at-home
They're
dads.
still dads.
Yeah. What no, they call them dommies. And
A lot of men are moms now.
yeah, I mean that's true too. And there's a lot going on right now. But that's something that, I mean, if you're in the 40s and you go tell your neighbors, what do? Oh, I stay home with the kids. They might fight you.
Yeah.
They might fight you and try to take your house.
Tom Papa has a very funny joke about how he was terrified of his dad. He wouldn't even look him in the eyes when he came in. And now his kids will literally climb into bed and lift his eyelids because they're so not scared of him.
Yeah. I always think that you want it. Well, and that's the balance of there's more love, which is good. That I know with it's like with our daughter, it's like she sleeps in our bed a lot, and like there's just stuff that you would never be done. But still, a lot of parents that don't do that. I mean, there's a lot of still bad parents out there. But yeah, it's definitely it's obviously a gigantic difference of, and it's just getting I mean, it's gonna be all women working, just dads at home. It's all gonna flip.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's one generation
Mhm.
difference.
To then the kids will be running it. You have a kid and they tell you what to do.
You don't think it comes back around? You don't think it goes and
Goes back to the dad
Beating their kids again? Is what you're hoping happens?
Just whacking them, closed fisting.
Wife, kids, everybody?
Yeah.
I just think
The good old days.
the
Ebbs and
world is
flows.
cyclical, man. Yeah. Hopefully not.
But it's cyclical. What is that?
Secular.
Secular?
Yeah.
That's you said.
No,
What
he
you say?
said cyclical.
I said cyclical. Yeah.
Yeah. You just do. Why do you use words like that?
That's not a crazy word.
That's a crazy word, dude. Why do you? What makes you want to use? Is that what they do at college? Just try to be like make you feel a little smarter than the regular folk. Is that all it is? Just
That's
to
all
go-
I got out of it.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
that's
much.
what I think college is,
Uh-huh.
and they just want you to be a little, so you can be a little highbrow. And when the just a blue collar guy like myself walks in with his lunchbox, and you go, "Oh, that's the world's secular." Oh, hey, how you doing? I didn't know you're here. And you start just banging the table. How do you speak? I don't know. Do you want food? Are you hungry?
I'm sorry.
It's academia.
Take it down a notch, Aaron, please.
All right, I will.
Rhode Island has the highest proportion of Catholic residents of any state.
Wow.
41%.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of Pope Gregorys.
A lot of Pope Gregorys there. A lot of people named Gregory because of Pope Gregory.
Probably
the most
Yeah.
in Rhode Island.
Yeah. I'll look that up. Most Gregorys by state.
Yeah. I mean, see, but we're back to these stats. If this shows up, that's insane to me. And that these people shouldn't have these jobs. There should never be someone that gets paid by finding the most Gregorys in a state. And I hope we don't have it. I swear. That is insane if this person has a job. And because there can't be that's his, what are you doing at work today? You'd be surprised how many Gregorys there are in
Rhode
Rhode Island. It's they go, oh,
That's
okay.
basically what we're doing now.
Yeah.
I know that is true, but the person that finds the state, is there a number?
I'd have to dig deep.
Yeah,
It's not an easy. That's not an easy Google.
it's not an easy.
Uh-huh.
How popular of a name is Gregory?
I think it's pretty popular, man.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Gregs.
yeah.
736,000 people in the United States named Gregory.
The 70th most popular name.
99.77% of people with the name Gregory are male.
Oh,
So it can be a female name too.
Yeah.
all right.
if someone names their daughter Gregory, I mean, what is that 3%? I don't even know if there's that what is it, 20.23%?
Yeah.
I don't even, there can't be. And that's just a person if it's 99.77% of people with the first name Gregory as a male, that 0.23% is it's one person and they're a nightmare.
Yeah.
It says 21 people are named Gregory Bear. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at this. What we got here?
We got breaking news.
I bet it's important. Break it to us.
This is you found a breakdown of all the states and how many people are named Gregory. Can you guess the state with the highest number of Gregorys?
I'll
give you a hint. It's the most densely populated state in the United
Rhode
States.
Island?
No, Rhode Island's number 4.
Okay, hold on. So, where do we think a lot of Gregorys?
Well, I know
Greg Garcia. I imagine he's a Gregory. Guest book right now on Hulu. He's from the East Coast, so it's East Coast.
Yeah, it's East Coast.
Massachusetts?
I'm having trouble reading this graph now.
Oh yeah, because here we are. Graphs are terrible. Graphs dude. There's no reason for a graph. There is zero reason for a graph. You can just type it out and just say where it is.
Yeah.
But people don't want to do that.
Is it the state I mentioned earlier that's the most densely populated?
Yeah. New Jersey.
New Jersey. I could see that.
Yeah.
A lot of Gregs.
It's all the Northeast, that whole New England area.
Yeah. Love of Gregory.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
So they have the highest percentage of Catholics, but Aaron, also the oldest existing synagogue. So there's something for your fiance too.
Oh,
you guys want to move there. Oldest existing synagogue in the U.S. is in Rhode Island. It was built in 1763. It's the only synagogue in the country during the colonial era. Still the oldest one in North America.
Oh.
And the oldest Baptist church in America was founded in Providence in 1683. It's called First Baptist Church in America. I never knew. I never even thought about why churches are called First Baptist, First Methodist, First Presbyterian. And I looked it up. It's just whichever one, the first one in that town.
Oh.
Like if you were literally the First Baptist church to settle there, you get to be called First Baptist.
But is there a bunch of First Baptists?
Yeah. Like I think every town's got probably a First Baptist.
No, but I feel like there's multiple First Baptists.
Oh, in the same town?
Yeah. Maybe there's not.
They do it by zip code.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Nashville.
We're the First Baptist on this land right here.
Yeah.
And you go, that's true. All right.
But they're the only church that can actually say it straight up. We're the First Baptist Church.
Yeah. Oh,
they
that's
call
nice.
themselves.
No, the.
Yeah.
No.
The actual first.
Right.
Yeah.
First Baptist Church in America is their name. So they let everybody know, not just locally.
First Baptist Church of America. I bet someone's like, there's no way. And then you go, probably not. They just probably say that. Because it's like they're like, we're trying to, we're the first woman governor in America. No. I see why you're getting confused here. Of Rhode Island. What if she's the one that's trying to tell you? She's the one that's trying to tell you, you go, so this church is the First Baptist Church of America.
Yeah.
And I'm the first woman first woman governor. Of America? No. Of Rhode Island, but the church is of America. And they go, all right. Gregory?
Rhode Island has the highest paid elementary school teachers in the country.
Wow, that's where they go.
Average salary
$22,000 a year. Whoa! They are doing it so good.
This was based on 2013. Average salary was $75,000.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
What do teachers get paid?
Well, $75,000 in Rhode Island.
Man, that's a good amount.
It is.
They should be getting paid. Like that's how they probably got great schools.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
It's probably more now. This is 2013. But
a lot of Beamers pulling up to that.
Yeah.
Your kindergarten teacher comes out in a new Tesla and teaches your kids.
So that disputes it, huh?
Yeah. Well, once again, I thought that this
Rhode
rank,
Island's not even. Oh, there it is, number 8.
but this teacher salary, but then they're weighing it against.
So they're actually going down.
jeez.
Oh, buddy.
This is from Wikipedia. So
Yeah.
none of this is probably true.
It's not even in order. God, man, I hate graphs. We really do have a graph.
We have a
problem in this
graph problem,
country.
dude. That's I swear. There's people love a graph and they want to make graphs
Uh-huh.
and it's exciting and it's fun and it's like designing a house. Like you're
What
like,
about
ooh.
Pie graphs, they're okay, right? It's
Yeah,
nice
but
and simple.
Nice and simple. Just, obviously this chunk is gigantic and
Mhm.
this part is not.
Pie graph wouldn't make sense for what we're trying to find out right now, though.
Yeah. So they don't work everywhere. And a pie graph, to be honest, how big is big? How little's little? You don't know. It's in the world of that pie. Like it could be like 1 million people, and then it's just a sliver for 1 million. You're like, well, that seems like a lot. You're like, but imagine how big the other part is. That big circle is gigantic.
Oh yeah.
As far as food in Rhode Island,
You think Pac-Man was the big reason for the pie graph?
didn't exist until then.
You think it played into it? I bet it could have. The face of
When
Pac-Man.
did Pac-Man come out?
Early 80s,
That's an early '80s game, right?
Oh, they were doing pie graphs probably.
I'd say so.
But the
Let's
Pilgrims.
see when the
did it.
pie chart was made. Earliest known pie chart, 1801.
So maybe.
A li- yeah, there's some correlation, probably. I mean,
Yeah.
it was 180 years before Pac-Man, but
What is going on in 1801 that someone's like, I can't wrap my head around what you're saying. He goes, I got to figure a way to let these people know that how many, they're like, we're trying to go across the country. He goes, but you're not going to make it. Most people don't. How were any stats kept in 1800?
I mean,
How could you ever track someone? I mean, I in my head, 1800, they're riding dinosaurs. How are you?
the first ever pie chart that we know of depicted the proportions of the Turkish Empire located in Asia, Europe, and Africa before 1789. That's the first graph, so
Yeah.
sounds like pretty important stuff.
That's it right there. The second one there.
Yeah, well, this dude.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the first ever. That's the first ever pie chart that we know.
Yeah.
African, European.
And then
I don't know what that even means.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's not really
The line
clear
is
what
over.
it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
And he
Wow.
goes, and that's that. That pie chart was a lot of, but that guy probably wanted to explain it.
Hey
He
guys,
was
what
excited
percentage
about
of
it.
Turkish Empire is Africa?
Ugh,
Well, let me show
well, let me show you. And he goes, oh god.
I mean, you
Uh,
can you can just tell
yeah.
us.
He
I
goes,
got something way better than
no,
that.
I got some. You guys got a pen and paper? And he's like, I don't even know. We don't. I got some wood. You want to? He goes, I mean, you can pull off some of the log cabin on the side of the house and draw it on that. I don't know. Like he's like, and he goes, that's fine. I'll do whatever, man. Yeah, I just wanted to show you on my new, calling it a pie chart because it's a circle like a pie. And they
I
go,
think we barely know what pies are
Yeah.
at this point. You know.
yeah,
Oh, you have pie? No, we have a chart.
yeah. They go, okay, what's a
Teaches you.
chart? It's a new word I made up. That's what the joke, my Shakespeare joke. If that I talked about that on here.
Yeah.
It was something like that. That's what I said. He made up a word. Look up Shakespeare. Shakespeare invented a word.
He invented a bunch of.
Yeah.
I know. But and the joke was like being friends with Shakespeare, and he just look up a word that he invented because I'll see
Yeah.
yeah
Dwindle.
dwindle. That was the word.
That's one of
that
your
I
words.
used.
It's one of the 4 words that starts with DW.
He invented lonely. So it's
Skim milk.
elbow. No, who invented elbow? King Lear. Oh, is this who invented?
No, King Lear's the play that it's in.
Oh, elbow as a verb,
Yeah.
like I
To
elbowed
elbow
someone.
somebody. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh,
That's pretty
he
cool.
elbowed. That's yeah. But so I was like being friends with Shakespeare.
Swagger.
Swagger.
He
dude.
goes and what's a word he actually swagger let's
He
say
invented swagger. Yeah.
oh no so he invented skim milk. So let's say he invented skim milk's a word, right? And so if you're friends with Shakespeare and you're just over at his house and he's like, you guys want some skim milk? And they're like, I don't even. What is that? He's like, it's a word I just invented.
He's like, hey,
Yeah.
this guy doesn't even know what skim milk
Elbow.
is.
He goes, what are you doing? I'm elbowing you.
Yeah.
He goes, that's 2 things I invented, and you're just like, it's just. He goes, all right. He goes,
This guy's got some swagger.
yeah, maybe I got too much swagger thrown your way. He goes, I don't. What are you doing? He
He's
goes,
like-
these are all words that I've
It's
invented.
like, dude, listen, don't be green-eyed about it,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Because I'm just
Yeah.
a smart guy.
And you're like, oh God. He goes, yeah. Well, we're all using these words now.
Yeah.
It's started.
Sorry, your vocabulary is so
Yeah.
lackluster.
Yeah,
Like, dude,
yeah.
will you just
Dude,
slow
you
down?
Come on, Shakespeare.
This crowd's starting to dwindle.
Yeah. This guy's everybody's a critic. All right. He goes, that was every one.
Yeah, man.
That was just one sentence. Oh.
I mean, he invented the word uncomfortable.
yeah, that made a lot of people uncomfortable when he tried to tell them that because they were unaware that he
Yeah.
invented that word. And
He's like,
someone
am I
says,
making you uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know what that means, but kinda.
He just put "un" in front of a bunch of words and called it a new word.
undress?
Unreal. There you go. That's a big one
unreal.
for you, Nate.
That's a big one for me. And then
Yeah.
I got to think
That's-
Shakespeare.
Did you know that's from Macbeth?
Oh.
What you've been saying?
Yeah, that's where I picked up on it.
Unbelievable.
I don't know where you guys picked up on it, but I always picked it up on Macbeth. I mean, pretty easy to invent words when it's 1623.
That's true.
I mean, everything you do, you just you see a mouse, you go eek, and you're like, oh, and they're like, hey, all right, that's a word. Yeah. He goes, I'm gonna start using it. Let's all start using that now. They go, okay. Can I get credit for it? You're like, yeah, sure. I mean, someone will.
Rhode Island food. They're known for the Rhode Island clam chowder,
Oh yeah.
hot wieners. Do you know what a hot wiener is, Aaron?
I mean, a microwaved hot dog.
Yeah.
They're small, thin hot dogs made of beef, veal, and pork, in a steamed bun with celery salt, yellow mustard, chopped onions.
I
mean-
would do it without that. I would be like, let's get that celery salt and the chopped onions on the side. No chopped onions, celery
Salt.
salt on the side. I want to make a restaurant. It's called No Tomatoes, No Onions.
Yeah, where you just don't have
Did I
it.
ever talk about that? Already? I want a restaurant because I don't like tomatoes and no onions. So you come in and you go, I want spaghetti, and you're like, no tomato, no onions in it, and they're like, you didn't read the door.
Point to the side.
Yeah, we don't have any
Do
tomatoes.
you think that's a
onions.
common
I don't know. Might
adjustment?
just be me, but the
Especially
idea
the onions, I think.
is
Yeah.
no tomatoes, no onions, and that's everything we got. One hamburger, lettuce, pickle,
Yeah.
and they go, oh, can I get tomato onion on it?
So if somebody from Rhode Island came in, try to get some hot wieners.
They're gonna be in for a
You'd be-
rude
You'd
awakening.
be like, listen, it's gonna be a little bit different. There's
I
no
guess you were
onions.
unaware that I have named this restaurant No Tomatoes, No Onions. I was unaware of that. This is unreal. Oh,
No muffin tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
that feels like a stretch for that Seinfeld. I mean, the other ones have been very smooth in there. And that one came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seinfeld TV show. Okay, you just tell someone randomly, hey, we like to reference Seinfeld. Like, yeah, I would love. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Andrea Doria. Okay.
shall I wait or keep going?
Yeah,
keep
now you can wait.
going,
He's got to
sorry.
gather his thoughts.
All right.
Another
That was so
Shakespeare word.
funny.
Oh.
That was so funny. Oh man.
So how many of those hot wieners do you think you could eat in an hour?
I mean,
Oh, you're showing them.
how big are they?
Well,
they
there you
don't
go. I got a
look-
picture of them.
A little smaller than an average hot dog, probably.
I think
40.
Just so people at home, they look like an average hot dog.
They look like straight up
yeah,
hot dogs.
I mean, maybe in Aaron's hands.
I'm not Shaq.
I mean, he just goes.
They're still gonna look big.
Sounds like a guy that's got gout. I don't know. I eat 15 of those. yeah. I mean, that's worse. There's a lot of onions on it.
Yeah.
Look how many onions on that one in the middle. Have you ever ate a garbage plate? That's in Rochester, New York.
No.
It's just it's a bunch of stuff on it, like fries. Like they're famous for that. When I went there with Mark Maron, we opened. He was like, "We got to go get the." You know who told me to go actually was Fallon. I did Tonight Show, and we were talking. I was like, I was going out with Maron, and I was like, we're going to Rochester, and he's like, you got to get the garbage plate. It's like the best thing ever. And so I was like, all right. And so then I told Maron, I was like, we got to go to.
Is this an accurate what it looks like? Just
nonsense.
What is that? Like
I don't know. It's just a bunch of stuff. I don't know if that do the upstate New York. I thought there was like there's like fries and potato. Yeah, it's just a bunch of stuff on it. Yeah,
there's a little more structure to that one.
Yeah.
Some of these look like. I mean, that does not look appealing really whatsoever.
It doesn't look appealing. But
I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's called a garbage plate, so it's not like you go in. Oh, it's beautiful. It's no one's eating this just being like, oh yeah, I'm getting my life together. I mean, that's how gout got started, was the garbage plate. That was the first tipping off point. Is tipping off point the right way to say that? No.
That was the
I think jumping off point.
Jumping off point, probably. No one tips off a point.
I turned.
If you were standing on a point, you would tip off.
Yeah.
You turn around though if you said
I turn around.
You turn around, tipping off point. What's that? It would be enough to go.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
What? You would know what I mean. But
did you mean jumping off point?
Yeah. Yeah.
The official state drink of Rhode Island is coffee milk.
Oh.
Mixing milk with coffee syrup.
Mixing milk with coffee syrup?
That's what it says.
So coffee syrup.
It's a unique syrup invented in Rhode Island and sold at most Rhode Island supermarkets.
Never heard of it. A milk that has coffee syrup in it.
Apparently so.
Oh, so it's like you make chocolate milk, but it's a different kind of syrup that you put in there. Where it's like a Jamocha shake.
Yeah.
Kind of that taste. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's a tough drink.
I'd never heard of it.
It's a tough drink to have as your steak. I think.
Coffee milk.
Yeah. There's a lot of explaining going on in Rhode Island with their stuff, their main stuff. Like a lot of, what's your bird? It's a red hen. Wow. Okay. I know. What do they say? It's just a red.
Rhode Island red. It's just called
a Rhode Island red. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those. You'd be surprised. You've seen quite a bit of them. It's a chicken. It's a regular chicken. Oh, okay. It's a lot of that.
Yeah.
They also have Johnny Cakes.
Johnny Cakes.
That was an episode of Sopranos.
Yeah.
That was in New Hampshire, I think.
Pancakes?
Kind of like pancakes, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But smaller?
Oh, it's hash browns?
No, I think it's like pancakes.
Oh. Yeah, that's like you go to someone's house, dude, and they go, we're going to have pancakes. And you go, it's great. And they're like, why are these weird? And they're like, oh, they're Johnny Cakes. You're like, yeah, well, say that. You didn't let me wrap my head around. I thought I were eating pancakes. My head has got pancakes. I need to be, if you're throwing some different food at me, I need to just tell me. Just say, hey, this is going to be a little different.
I love that all their signature food is just a slightly smaller version of a normal food. We got slightly smaller hot dogs.
It's slightly smaller up there.
And then just some smaller pancakes.
Yeah. Johnny Cakes.
Is it because the state is so small?
That they do everything a little bit smaller.
I think so. I think that's part of it.
They could be.
Let's see if the flip side of that, when we get to Texas, let's see if everything's bigger.
If everything, they go, could be.
Mm-hmm.
The grist and the 69, old 96er. Is that from Uncle Buck? No, not Uncle Buck. The Great Outdoors.
I don't know.
You ever seen The Great Outdoors?
No.
Oh, with John Candy?
He's already covered. He doesn't see John Candy movies.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen any John Candy movies.
Dude, he eats the old 96er. And he eats this. He goes, oh yeah, they get a free meal if he eats it, and it's this giant thing. He thinks he can eat it, and he eats it all. And he goes, you got to eat the gristle and fat. And he's like, and then he finally gets it all, and they give him.
Here it is. Is that what?
Yeah. The whole restaurant's watching him, and then he walks out with he has to just lay the shirt over his front of his body. He can't even put it on. He just got his shirt laid on him as he walks out like a zombie because he just ate.
Oh, man.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
You need to go watch them. Why don't you? Yeah, you don't watch them for a reason.
No, I don't have a. I'm not like I don't have a vendetta against
religious reasons.
Yeah, for religious reasons, I don't watch John Candy movies. No, I would. I just missed them.
Yeah. But you have all those DVDs.
I do have. I probably have a lot of these movies.
Planes, Trains, and
Why? How
Automobiles.
would you have it and not know it? You buy these DVDs in bulk. You go to like buy just a box of them, and he goes, "What's in there?" And you're like, "You hope something's good."
Sometimes you buy it with the intention. Oh, I'd like to be able to see
Like a
this
storage
someday,
unit.
but I haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah.
No, not like a store. I don't go buy just boxes. I buy them one by one.
Yeah.
You know,
But you buy whole seasons, I guess, sometimes of a show,
sometimes I will.
like
Yeah.
West Wing.
Yeah.
And why do you do that? Just to
I like to be able to watch them.
to the DVDs.
Mhm.
But you do it for the DVDs because it's fun to have a DVD collection.
It is fun to have them
Yeah,
on
it
the
is.
shelf
It is
and
fun.
look
Mhm.
through them.
And everybody gets
and then sometimes the internet's out, and I'm like, well, that doesn't phase me at all.
Doesn't phase you. That
Uh-huh.
when everybody's internet was out over Christmas,
Right.
you thrived.
That's right. The Nashville bombing was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. More people became alert.
nobody had
Yeah.
internet, and I was
That
like,
was
I'm
Aaron,
doing
if you're
great.
I think they
That was Aaron.
investigated you first because it goes,
Who benefits from this?
yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of flashing lights going on in that house. That guy doesn't seem like he doesn't even know what's going on. Do you ever think that you throw in one of those DVDs and if something happens in the world, you're just like you have no idea that it happened?
Yeah.
Because you're in your own little
Right.
Yeah.
That's part of the appeal of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true with Netflix or anything. But
Yeah.
you'll get it on your phone.
Yeah, but I mean I feel like if something happened, they could still
Get you quicker that way.
Netflix they could, something could pop.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
But a straight up DVD,
straight up DVD,
nothing.
DVD player, yeah.
Mhm.
The TV show Family Guy is based in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is Quahog a real city?
No.
No.
Yeah. No. Uh
According to this, it's a fictional Rhode Island city. But Peter Griffin works at the Pawtucket Brewery.
that's real.
Yeah. Seth MacFarlane went to the Rhode Island.
RISD.
Yeah, RISD.
All right.
I drew a blank there.
What?
The
Ro-
Rhode Island.
School of Design.
Yeah, School
Oh.
of Design.
RISD, it's called. I don't know why
What
I
is
knew
going on there?
that. Isn't that like a famous art
Yeah.
school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's an art school? What do they do?
What do you mean?
I mean, I know art in high school, so
I
just
think
on a
any type
higher
of-
level.
I think it's just the next level of that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you go in and their parents go look at their pictures on the wall.
Like film or anything.
Yeah, animation, that kind of stuff. You can learn technical skills, I'm guessing.
Could I get in there right now?
You maybe could be a visiting professor.
You
do-
mean adjunct professor?
Yeah, adjunct professor.
Yeah.
Teach about comedy.
Yeah.
I can't, so I
Would
get
you do
I get
that?
to be something that I don't even know what the word means. You're gonna be an adjunct professor. You're like, oh, do I get like a full office, or does that mean like I'm adjacent to another
I'm an
person? or
add-on.
Adjacent
Yes, yeah.
professor.
Does that mean I'm just like, yeah? Am I in the closet of a actual room?
I'm not adjunct.
Could I be I would go talk to. I would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to do it.
Would you teach a
Like,
comedy class
I'm going
at
like
Vol
Michael
State?
Scott. Just rip his
Rip the pages.
Rip the pages of his. He goes. What was the thing where they land and they all start typing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't get it from a book
He goes.
or whatever.
Yeah, real business
Yeah.
is done on paper. Write that down.
And everybody starts saying, yeah.
I
One of
would
my
love
favorite
to-
episodes.
Yeah, I would love you
Business
to go
school.
see.
Mhm.
We would teach a class at Vol State or somewhere.
Yeah.
Be an adjunct professor. there.
Can I do higher than that? Why can I go to this?
I
RISD?
mean, listen, you gotta kind of prove yourself first. Maybe start out.
But as an artist, I'm an artist.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe
Yep.
what are you looking for? Belmont? That's about as high as I see you going.
Vandy.
I go to Vandy. Talk to him about what
Listen,
am I talking about?
Vandy's pretty-
Jokes, writing jokes.
Vandy's pretty
yeah.
good school.
Talking about comedy, writing jokes, the idea of it. It all would be regular life stuff, though. That would
Yeah.
be. It's all of it because it's like their aspect of writing jokes is. I mean, I think you got to figure that out, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
The whole class would be just like you got to go do it. Like, you can't like. That's what college should be. Is
Yeah.
you got to go do this.
It'd be a
stuff.
short class.
Yeah, but like, go do it.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, no one can get anything. That's why I think stuff is getting worse because I think people are not doing stuff as much, and they get thrown in.
Yeah.
Like journalism is you just start a website. That's why I think it happens, honestly, because they don't have to go up through the system. Like their system is like, well, I've been writing a blog since I was 14, so they think I've been doing this 10 years.
Yeah.
But that's what I was thinking about because we're losing that. You're losing that going through like someone working at an office forever and just having to get coffee and to like building up. Like that person is a lot better at what they do because they have had to learn it from the ground up. Versus now, anybody can write anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That would
You could
the
be
class.
like, because the Michael Scott tearing the book out, that's a play on Dead Poet Society when Robin Williams did it, told him tear the book out.
Yeah.
But his philosophy is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Get out there and live life.
Yeah. Carpe diem, dude.
Seize the day.
Yeah, seize the day. And they go, carpe diem? No, seize the day.
What are you saying?
What did you... That's what you heard was carpe diem? Because I said seize the day. What is this guy? What are y'all teaching over here? That's... that's one of my favorite episodes. That business school,
The
if
Office.
not, Brent Forster. I'm friends that wrote his show with him. That didn't go anywhere, but Brent's a great guy, and he wrote that episode. And it's one of my favorite because that one too. He goes, well, Ryan's. He goes, he's never made a sell, and he set a fire in there. Like that was like a very honest being like, well, Ryan thinks he knows all this stuff, but he doesn't know how to make a sell. And then he goes to Pam's art show, which we're all talking about, and that's one of the sweetest moments. And that's the perfect. If someone said, "What is Michael Scott's character?" I would show him that episode.
Yeah,
is to go. It's this.
Yep.
Right.
The mafia is big in Rhode Island, especially in Providence. The Patriarcha crime family. I hope I'm saying that right, so they don't come find me. But they have they set their headquarters up in Providence. I was thinking about The Departed. The two guys that Leonardo DiCaprio beat up in that diner. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They were from Providence.
Yeah.
So maybe that was a play off of that.
Yeah. That's what Matt Damon has one of my favorite lines. He opens up the jacket and it says Providence. He goes, "The principles of detection tell me this guy's from Providence."
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. So the mafia is gigantic up there.
Yeah, the crime family ran their operations in Providence from the National Cigarette Service Company and Quinomatic Distributors, a vending machine and pinball business.
Is their headquarters? I mean, you think they have an office, like a regular office? Like
they called it the office. Like the mobsters called it that business.
But if you walked in, it would be like a regular. What's the
up front?
Yeah. You gotta have day to day.
A receptionist.
Yeah, like you would have day to day stuff. If someone's like, "Oh, you're in the mafia," you're like, "That's crazy, dude."
Yeah.
Like you kill, you just kill people. You're like, "No, I do a lot of the paperwork."
Right. We're on the Eastman calendar, so it's
you would be shocked how much paperwork that is.
Look at that guy's picture. He was not happy. They took that.
We just finished the Irishman.
Yeah. When'd you start it? 2 months ago?
I mean, 2 months. I mean, honestly, maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And then just kind of go through it. And then.
How was it? Was it good?
Yeah. I mean, you forget so much because it's honestly months in between watching it. I mean, every time you start, you're like, I guess we were at this part. Like, I don't, I was a year younger. And, Jimmy Hoffa. I looked up stuff. I like to look it up after. But he, I think his body was not buried somewhere. I don't think.
Yeah.
So.
You think it happened like they showed in the movie?
Well, I looked it up, and they say that that one guy wrote a book that the Do You Paint Houses? There's a book called Do You Paint Houses, or and so he said that's what he said happened. But there's other people that don't. But I don't think because there's a guy that not too long ago said that the guy that killed Jimmy Hoffa is still alive and he's in prison.
Oh yeah.
But
who knows?
Yeah.
A giant termite mascot called the Big Blue Bug, or also known as Nibbles Woodaway, is in Providence along I-95 in Providence. It's kind of their big thing there. He's 9 feet tall and 58 feet wide. He weighs 4,000 pounds.
And it says, community is more important than ever. The Providence Country Day School.
I think that might just be an add-on underneath it there. But apparently this was in, the Farley brothers were from Rhode Island. They put this bug in Dumb and Dumber and Dumb and Dumber 2.
Oh.
They just put different stuff under the bug. So there's a sign. Now there's a drink. Like it's almost like great stop anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism. But there's also, I mean, that's a tough sign to follow.
Yeah.
It was like right before that, because that's a serious sign, and then right before it was drink cherry Coke.
And then right after fly JetBlue to Florida.
Yeah, bug out, fly JetBlue to Florida.
It was built in 1980. It's been several movies, TV shows. It's a cultural landmark by the many locals.
It's got to take up most of the state.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big part of it. Like you're gonna.
On the flip side, that is a big bug.
Yeah. If you're
it gets graffitied sometimes.
Oh, what's wrong with people?
That's disheartening.
What is graffiti? Why do they feel like you got to do it? I guess it's about. I think there's a game to graffiti. Like it's to see how, because you ever see where it's like under a bridge and you're like, well, how did they get there?
Yeah.
And that's what it's like. Yeah, that is. But then you just go, wow, how did they get there? And then you drive on and never think of it again.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're like, well, was there really worth? Is the risk of death worth me going? How did they get there? And
But I think you're doing it for other graffiti artists to go, oh man, he really threw the gauntlet down.
Yeah,
like
Now-
Banksy.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, one of those guys.
yeah. Banksy just pops up all over the world,
Uh-huh.
and they report it on the news. Like Banksy has a new.
He's a big deal.
Yeah, he went to. Could he go to? He could do a
Rhode Island?
He'd
RISD.
be adjunct professor
He could do it.
at RISD, probably, man.
At RISD?
I can't name another painter.
Yeah. Then
Can you name another current painter?
Oh, current painter.
I mean, I
No.
can name Rembrandt
Yeah.
and stuff, but I'm talking about right now in the
Yeah.
game.
Jackson Pollock.
Jeremy Morrow.
Jackson
he paints
Pollock.
a lot
Is
of
he still
houses.
alive right now?
No, but sorry.
Yeah.
Jeremy Morrow.
Jeremy Morrow, that's my buddy's name. He's not even a painter. I'm just trying to name some regular guy. Yeah,
Does pools.
yeah. There's Kenny Clayton. He does a lot of the ceiling work at
The guy
Yeah,
the guy who does the murals at Zany's.
Oh, right.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a painter.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, he is really good.
Yeah, that's what that kind of painting.
It's
I
hard
always
to
think,
call what he does graffiti.
no, he's not doing
Obviously,
graffiti.
obviously.
Painter. Yeah.
Obviously. I just
Yeah.
want to make that
Well, he would
clear.
get caught pretty easily because he's really camped up there for quite a while. I mean,
Nobody notices.
no one. Yeah, his Instagram's 1440, right?
1.4.4.0.
Yeah, I figured they would get it enough with the numbers.
I don't know
I
if
can't
it'll
imagine
come up
there's
when
a
you search it.
another 1440 that's
There might be. That's
Doing
why I
this-
put the dots there.
doing the same thing.
Oh, that would also be an artist?
That would also,
You're right.
yeah. I think we should do one on art because I mean, there's,
Yeah.
you could argue. All right,
I don't get art at all.
Yeah, well, it's Lebanon for you.
Yeah. Well, it might be.
Yeah. I mean, I'm from Lebanon. I don't. You want to buy this art? We ain't gonna do it. You don't want to buy any of this? We ain't doing it.
You ever see that Brian Regan bit about him having to judge art?
Yeah,
And he's Picasso. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, Pablo,
yeah.
take a look around. You see anybody with two eyes on the same side of the face?
I don't think.
No,
so.
hence the low score.
Well, it looks like an apple. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Is it an apple? Yeah. Yeah, there's we bought, I think I could get into the idea. I don't know, but if I had art, I would want a real painting. I would, yeah, like if you bought a Picasso or something, you buy it I'm just buying it just to say I have it.
Yeah. It's an investment, too. It's like
Yeah.
buying a real estate.
Is it? I think it is.
I don't know. I don't
because it never goes down.
know. That can go down, I think.
The price can go down.
I think so. I mean,
Like George Costanza bought that art. And that
'cause
guy lived.
Yeah, and that guy lived. Yeah, I figure they're gonna go after Picasso's. Like, the way they cancel everything now, you don't want to buy something old.
oh, then okay. And then all of a sudden,
All of a
Picassos
sudden
are
they write.
worthless.
Yeah, maybe it would make it more, but
Uh-huh.
Picasso said some things probably,
Yeah.
and that comes out, and then you look like an idiot.
He died in like the 60s, didn't he? I mean, he
Really?
was around pretty recently.
Oh, wow.
Maybe.
I want to say maybe even the 90s.
No.
70 died in
He's
1973. died.
What?
Yeah, he was around.
He was
Pretty-
born in 1881.
Yep. Seems like it should be hundreds of years ago, doesn't it?
I
Yeah.
thought he would have been like he's 400.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'd love to
AD.
know the calendar he used. I mean, he might have done a few of them.
He was on the Julian calendar.
Yeah.
What did he get paid a ton of money? Was he worth money?
I don't think most artists were in their time.
Who's the famous guy who was it Van Gogh? He
Yeah.
didn't until after he died.
Yeah.
I saw that Doctor Who episode about that.
I didn't see that, but
Yeah, he made a lot of money. Like his name made money afterwards.
No, I don't think nobody cared about his paintings till after he died. So his whole life was just
yeah, he was just poor and
yeah.
Why did they? Why not? They just didn't care.
they just didn't appreciate it for what he was doing at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you get it.
Yeah.
Now we got so many people that are full of themselves.
Uh-huh.
That's why half this art does really good. Because someone goes, no, you don't really see it for how I see it. We just got enough of those people, and there
Yeah.
just wasn't enough. Because back then you had to go to work. You had to go work in a farm.
Uh-huh.
You're like in some, your dumb teenage son wants to, because like, look at this painting I did. The dad's like, what?
Yeah.
Like your dad is missing most of his fingers, like just to put blueberries on the table, and you're like, look at that, I got a drawing.
Turning to sports, the Pawtucket Red Sox was the AAA affiliate for the Boston Red Sox from 1973 to 2020. So it just ended.
So they're going somewhere
They
else.
moved.
Yeah, but I think Pawtucket just lost their team, but the Red Sox moved their AAA team. somewhere
Minor
else.
league baseball, I wish had more of a. It's very fun.
Let me tell you about this game.
Yeah.
The longest game in professional baseball history was in Pawtucket between the Pawtucket Red Sox and Rochester Red Wings. 33 innings. The game went 8 hours and 25 minutes, and the umpire was missing the part in his rule book where he was supposed to stop the game, so he just kept going. And finally, they reached the president of the league at like 3 a.m. and told him what's going on. He's like, "Stop the game immediately." So they stopped at 4 a.m. To resume it later. Wade Boggs drove in the tying run in the bottom of the 21st, and his teammates groaned
Wow.
because they had to keep going. He tied it up again in
Yeah.
the 21st. He said his dad complimented on 4 hits, and he said, "Well, I have batted 12 times." One guy went 0 for 13, setting a record.
Hey, at least if you get a slump, you get it. You get it in that game.
Right. You come out of it.
You
the
come
same
out of
game.
it. Yeah.
It got so cold that players were burning broken bats in the stadium's wooden benches to warm themselves. And the clubhouse ran out of food. One guy asked if he could go home, and the coach let him. And he got home at 3 a.m. and his wife didn't believe he was out. She thought he was out drinking all night. And he said, "No, the game's still going. It'll be in tomorrow's paper, I'll promise you." And then, of course, it was too late to get in the next day's paper. So he had to wait 2 days to show his wife that it really happened. And it happened Saturday night into Sunday morning Easter. When they got done, they ran into people going to sunrise service, Easter service the next day.
Wait, so they had to finish it the next day?
Well, I mean, they stopped it at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And then by the time they got out of there and stuff, people were going to sunrise service for
And then
Easter. So then they resumed it a few months later, and by then the Major League strike was going on. So there was originally 1,740 people at the game.
They stayed?
By the time they stopped the game, there were 19 fans left,
Yeah.
and they gave them a lifetime pass to the stadium.
Wow.
That's cool.
Players went home arrested, come back the next day for a game. But as far as finishing that game, they didn't do it till a couple of months later. There was then a sellout crowd of 5,746 and 140 reporters from around the world because Major League Baseball was on strike. And this was a huge thing that they're playing the 33rd inning, which they finished it in that one inning. And Cal Ripken Jr. Tied a record for most plate appearances in one game during that game.
How many? You're not going to say how many?
15.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you don't
So,
say. Hey,
Wade Boggs and Cal Ripken Jr.
Yeah.
were on these two.
Yep.
Were on these teams.
Opposing teams, but they were.
That's
The
pretty
umpire took
crazy.
his nephew to the game, and he said his nephew never attended another game again.
Yeah, that's your first game you go to, and you're like, this is what it is. You're like, it feels like this, but shorter usually. That's what baseball goes. It always feels like this, but it's usually not as long. But it does feel like it's never going to end. That's kind of baseball. You're like, you got to stay. I would have definitely stayed.
Yeah, you've been one of the 19.
Oh, easily. You can't. If you're doing something, you got to go. Nah, we gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta.
I'm a part of history here.
Yeah, you got to be like, I got to see it out, dude. Like you got to,
Yeah.
Now, but it all depends if you have your family with you. If you have your family with you, then you're in trouble.
My buddy went to the Braves game, the Braves Mets on July 4th when he was a kid, the one that went so many innings. And Rick Camp, the pitcher, hit a home run in the 18th to tie it up because they were out of players.
Yeah.
But they left before the game was over because they were small kids. And
if you have your kids with you, then yeah, you go, you leave. I get it, and it's free. But it also, I mean, if you get freezing,
yeah.
But I don't know. I would try. It would depend on how I went.
Yeah.
And then you would be.
I think I would think seriously about leaving when I saw the players in the dugouts burn their bats for warmth.
I mean, I think
that would make me go, I should probably get home.
Yeah.
You know?
The Rochester catcher caught the first 31 innings before being replaced.
Wow, he'd probably get his knees replaced too after that too.
Yeah,
wow.
it's a long,
So there's a lot of stuff in the Baseball Hall of Fame from this game, since it was the longest game.
That's cool.
They had a minor league team, Providence Grays, that Babe Ruth played for.
As they go, and you get a lifetime pass. Oh yeah, thanks. They tell you that night. Oh, that's I don't think I'll ever come back here.
The Providence Grays.
Babe Ruth hit his only minor league home run for them in
Oh,
1914.
Wow.
Yep. They won the World Championship in 1884.
The World Series.
They beat the New York Metropolitans.
Oh wow! They were a Major League Baseball team.
Metropolitans.
Little Nate over there.
I know.
Aaron just said Metropolitan.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they were a great team. The Providence Steamroller won the 1928 NFL title. They're the last team to win a championship.
These are all names that I feel like you grew up watching. That would be, I would think who's playing tonight? Well, the Grays and the Steamrollers. Oh, wow. That's got a humdinger. Let's turn that radio
on. They played in a 10,000 seat stadium that was built for bicycle races called the Cyclodrome. So every time they got tackled, they would have to go into the stands. Like if they got tackled out of bounds, they would go into the stands. And their end zone was only 5 yards in depth because they just didn't have enough room.
Just make do.
I mean, is this the worst logo you've ever seen for a sports team?
Oh, maybe.
I mean, is that a human or is it a dog?
I'll be honest with you, it looks like a dog that got his face run over by a steamroller is what it honestly looks like. And I actually kind of now think
that's what
actually kind of perfect. Like I mean, I don't know how on point it's supposed to be, but it is on point. Because if you ran over a dog's face with a steamroller, it would start to look human. Because you would knock out all of the dog stuff, and the tongue would hang down farther.
Yeah. Flatten that nose.
Knock out all the dogs.
Yeah. See what I mean? This guy he's the same as Picasso. He's like, oh, yeah, we're both artists. No, we do stuff a little different. He goes, have you seen my work? He goes, I have. And have you seen mine? I should just say neither one of our parents are happy. You know what I mean? Yeah. We don't have supportive dads, if you know what I mean.
You ever been to a Steamrollers game? Well, take a look around.
Yeah.
Some of my work. Right
there. You like that?
Yeah.
And this guy goes, why don't you just use a steamroller? He goes, oh. I think I was just too into it, and I need an outside perspective. I got swallowed up, and I couldn't. Sometimes you get too close to your work, and so
tunnel vision.
Yeah, the tunnel vision. It's like,
they were the first team to play a game under the lights. They installed floodlights in 1930. Wow. So hosted a game under lights, and after they won the championship, a lot of their players left. One guy just started selling insurance. It's a little different back then.
I bet there was, though this was that longest game, I bet there was some deep talks in that one. I mean, just some guys that goes, I don't know if I can do this anymore, And then, the 17th inning, he's like, you know what, but this is what I love to do. And so I don't see why I shouldn't ride it out, And then the 20th inning, like, I don't know, we just broke up. I don't know if it's going to work out. It's ridiculous. I mean, you're just like a different person.
Yeah.
Like, you're
questioning your life choices.
You're questioning everything.
There's also a basketball team called the Providence Steamrollers. They're one of the original 11 NBA franchises. They set the record for fewest wins in a season with 6. They're
This is what the logo should have been.
yeah,
They used
That's
an
better.
actual
A
steamroller.
steamroller.
yeah, that's much better.
But like a steamroller. Now, am I crazy? What is it? Is a steamroller a train? Then,
No, I think it's like a
like to flatten a road.
Zamboni, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a weak. Hey, welcome to we're the wheelbarrows. I mean, you're just using like regular.
Well, the guy said he did it because he heard someone say, "How'd y'all do?" We steamrolled them.
Oh, this guy is about the most uncreative human being alive. He just heard words. We're gonna go get a hot wiener after. Are you? Oh, maybe a ladies' team. There's. I mean, it's just a regular. I mean, a steamrollers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who are we playing tonight? The Johnson Rakes. You're like, what are y'all just doing? What, you go in a barn and just named everything that was in there?
Lamp.
You got lamp. You got the Dodge Shitty Cones in 2 weeks. What is this? Was it a construction site? You were at like a road site thing that the hazards.
They have the Bobcats. That's already one.
What was the Bobcats?
Bobcats is the
Charlotte Bobcat.
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the
Oh, like a Bobcat, like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
construction Bobcat. Yeah, that's all right. Kind of steamrolled yourself right there, to be honest. Hey, yikes. That's why you don't.
I make
come
you
out.
uncomfortable, dude.
Huh? Yeah. I think you're unaware about what a joke is.
the Steamrollers coach. They were so bad, he activated himself for 2 games.
Wait, he what? He did.
He like activated himself to play. He was so fed up with him, I guess.
He goes, you seen a coach? He's like,
I'm going in.
"What are you doing?" He's like, Why are you tying your cleats on? Have you seen the mess out there? Did he say so they were called the Steamrollers because they steamrolled someone, or they always get steamrolled?
Well, this is the basketball Steamrollers team.
Who? But
the guy who was the promotion guy that
The
came up with
coach,
it, he
he's-
heard steamroll. He thought, oh yeah,
He
we
just
should
starts
say.
taking off his suit. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm going in.
yeah, I mean the fact that you're called the Steamrollers, and you just seem like you get steamrolled the whole time.
Yeah.
But they didn't know that when they started.
I know, but that's just a sign. It's just very funny to be like, we steamrolled them last night. Hey, we're going to be called the Steamrollers because that's what we do. And then it turns out you are the one that gets steamrolled. That just anybody's there is like, how do you activate yourself to play as a coach?
He did it right before his 46th birthday. It's still
A 46-year-old man he goes, I can't watch this anymore.
Put me in.
Put me in. Do we have another uniform? It doesn't matter. It's the 1500s. They were wearing a suit to play in to begin with.
It's still the NBA record for oldest player in an NBA game.
Wow.
And then they go, 46-year-old in the NBA game. You're like, God, he made the NBA then? You're like, no. He activated himself. He just said, I'm playing. Did he get a card? That's not. This is the cards that are just, how high can you hold that basketball?
Yeah,
He goes, pretty high.
That was a very popular pose back then.
Yeah, how do you want to pose for this picture? I don't know. Should I just hold the ball straight up?
Yeah.
Nah, make it a little bit askew.
Yeah.
And then we'll just take the
It's very askew.
I always think you always get weird faces
Yeah.
with old pictures because they can't believe they're seeing a
Camera.
camera. Like
Yeah.
I try to do this as a joke, and maybe I can still try it. But every old picture you see is always like a family that's like, their
Yeah.
eyes are wide open.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, because they're like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's like a wizard in the room.
Yeah.
There's no like, hey everybody, cheese. Like it's just like,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Well, they had to stand still for a long time too.
yeah,
I think that's a big reason why.
for a picture.
Yeah, for like 15, 20 minutes. You had to
Yeah.
just stand there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's so they couldn't hold a smile that long.
that's why.
I
Are you
think it's a
making
big
that up?
part of it. Yeah, that's what I always thought. Is
I just
had-
didn't think
That's
had
what
you heard
you
that?
thought. Have you ever heard that? Or
I think I'd heard that. Yeah,
you have a real line of just stuff that I go, wait, so that's true? And you're like, well, I've always thought it.
I mean,
I always
okay.
thought they just didn't even know to smile.
One common explanation for the lack of smiles in old photos is long exposure times.
Okay.
Wait, golly, look at these ads, dude. Yeah. I mean, come on. Oh, well, that's okay. So there are a bunch of different reasons.
So they're saying no smile, yeah. Or maybe it just wasn't as fun back then.
Well, that guy.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Oh, did he die?
Died there in the photo. No.
Yeah.
What is that on his neck? Is that just a
that is
mark?
a post-mortem picture.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
Oh.
Victorian. Okay. There's a lot of different reasons. I recommend you do research on your own, folks.
Well, anyway, the Steamrollers, they had some stuff going on.
Sorry. That's a good recap.
Yeah. Anywho.
Anyway, the Rollers had a lot going on.
Like a newscast. Oh, wow. Thanks, Aaron. Anyway, the Steamrollers lost 5-6.
The International Tennis Hall of Fame is in Rhode Island. It's a popular tourist.
International?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a separate tennis Hall of Fame or not.
I think they probably only need one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The X Games started there.
They don't even use all the stuff, all the area they have.
The soccer.
That's Serena Williams. That's about it. You go, okay. Oh, all right. Is there other? Be like, there's a few other people.
We're putting
Roger
in a Steffi
Federer,
Graf exhibit later, but
Roger Federer. I mean, he's in the back room. You can talk to him if you want to talk to him. Just ask some questions and stuff. He's there.
I'm good.
Yeah, and he goes, I don't know. Is it a whole thing? He goes, I mean, he's a talker. He likes to talk. If you want to go back there and talk to him.
Is it a whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of is.
It'll be your day.
Yeah. You're not going to see anything else. Is there like a net I can touch it? And he goes, we should do that. We haven't thought.
You're the first person been in here in a while.
Yeah. That's why we changed it to the International Tennis Hall of Fame, because we were hoping to get
more.
Yeah, we're getting a few more people in here.
Didn't work.
But
some famous people from Rhode Island: Meredith Vieira, Viola Davis, Charlie Day, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, Deborah Messing, James Woods. I think we covered that.
So James Woods is a big character in Family Guy.
Yeah.
Oh, must be.
Yeah. All
right.
They go to James Woods High School.
Yeah.
Really?
In the show, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
He's from okay.
The show Another Period. You guys know that Comedy Central?
No.
Yeah.
With Natasha. Them. That's based there in Newport in Rhode Island, because they have famous mansions. The Breakers is the most popular mansion, built by Cornelius Vanderbilt.
Oh wow. I mean, it's a weird. You're like, Another Period. It's a small show shot on a cable network. That's. I think I've seen it. That's shot in Rhode Island. Okay. I mean, I had more fun trying to guess what the show was. All right. We're
wrap it up.
Yeah, we're close. Start. These people have been steamrolled enough into this nonsense. Is this the stuff you didn't want to get to? Is this what you're talking about?
Or did we already cross that line a while ago?
We crossed it a long time ago.
Oh.
They have an elephant day because their prized elephant was murdered.
Oh, wow. How do you not open with this?
It's known as Little Bet. She was shot to death by a group of Masons while crossing a bridge.
I knew a Sheba Mason. What? No. Sheba Mason's a comedian. Her dad's Jackie Mason.
Oh, okay.
So like the Mason family?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So they shot
this elephant. There's a monument set up
Betty.
They
have a lot of big gray things there. Steamrollers, elephants. They were called the Providence Grays.
Yeah.
I think we're on to something. Oh, we're on to something. All right. All right. Diverse hands fired upon Betty, one of America's first elephants, at the north end of the rustic span that arched Chepachet River. Given an observation of the 150th anniversary of the event by Richmond and Edna Kent. What is that?
That's
I don't know what that is.
The plaque of what?
That's just the plaque. Maybe they those people paid to put that monument
It's a
up.
memorial to Little Bet the elephant.
It was one of the versed hands fired upon Betty.
Yeah, he was
That's
shot.
just how that's how it starts.
Yeah.
That's how the plaque starts.
Yeah.
May 25th, 1826 to 1976. Wait, that elephant lived?
No, that's when it happened, 1826.
Yeah.
And then that's the 150-year anniversary of it.
So this is a plaque this is an anniversary of the plaque.
No, it's the anniversary of it happening.
Yeah.
Why would they not just put the date it happened? Why do you put you don't put an end date on a plaque that's like it's basically that plaque is saying we've celebrated this event enough.
Yeah.
And so this plaque is 150 years. Yeah. We've talked about this elephant that got murdered, and I'm done.
We want to move on.
So here's a plaque that says we did it. We've given enough to this elephant. We've thought about her enough. What happened? And then someone just walks up. Well, what happened to the elephant? That's the person.
Yeah.
So the elephant was just shot and killed.
Yeah. I think they just, I don't know if they didn't know what it was or they were just being mean.
I mean, if you didn't know what an elephant was, I would shoot one too. If you saw that thing coming at you.
But where was it? Just in the wild?
No, they brought it over. It was, I don't know why it's out just going for a walk.
We'll bring an elephant over to that place that reminds me of Greece.
I think it was part of a circus.
Yeah. Why'd you bring that elephant? Well, that place I went to, you remember Road Greece, obviously. He goes, yes. The zoo there. They had an elephant. I thought, let's do a zoo here. I brought an elephant. He goes, well, I don't know if we can even, this is the smallest state. We're not even that big of a state. You can't just throw a giant elephant in the middle of this. We don't have the room. And he goes, yeah, but I mean, I brought it. I can't send it back, Yeah. We just put it out on a raft. What do you want to do? I'm going to shoot it. And that's how I got shot. He goes, someone's going to murder that elephant if you don't get it out of here right now. Who would murder an elephant?
Oh, man. Diverse hands.
Yeah, diverse hands. And we're going to memorialize it for 150 years. And then that's enough. You know what? I'm not against a plaque that goes, and that's enough.
Yeah.
We've talked about this thing, and they should have more plaques that.
Yeah, it's time for us to move on.
I
like it.
Yeah, I like that plaque too. Good for you, Rhode Island. Was that it?
It can be.
Was there any one last fun one?
Here's a fun one.
That was an elephant. The murder is pretty fun, but
the first jail sentence for speeding in an automobile was done in Newport, Rhode Island on 1904.
The day fun died there.
Yeah, the jail term was for 5 days. The guy was caught traveling 15 miles per hour.
That was over the speeding limit?
His total speed was 15 because back then they just put in car laws because back then if your carriage was going too fast, you could be cited. So 15 miles an hour is pretty fast for
another 5 minutes. You'd have been out of the state.
How do they even know they're going that fast?
They just eyeballed it.
Yeah.
Whoa. He starts walking faster. If I can't stay with you, then I think we got a problem.
They just have to walk alongside him.
I think I'm jogging now, and so I think you're going a little quick, don't you think? Feels like we're moving. There's still wild animals on the road that people use as travel. Johnny, they're probably going by his name.
Johnny Cakes.
Yeah, Johnny Cakes. That's how Johnny Cakes were made. Rhode Island. I'll be honest with you. I thought at the beginning of this, I was like, yeah, boy. I mean, that second you started reading stuff, I was like, I think we should cancel this podcast. I mean, honestly, I was like, what on earth?
Well, we gave it a try.
But it turned out all right.
I liked it.
I like Rhode Island.
I did learn a lot.
I learned a lot. Good for you, Rhode Island. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I wanted to say this hat. I've been wearing this hat the whole time. Wilson, our boy John Augustine, is a professional golfer now. Signed a deal with Wilson Golf. Gave me a hat.
Nice.
Got a hat.
Oh, that's awesome.
Amex is the first golf tournament. I want to say maybe the 23rd, the week of the 20th or something, January, will be his first professional golf tournament. He will be trying to play good to get his PGA Tour card, and so and he was in here, and So
I have one news update from a previous podcast.
no,
There was a tornado west of the Rockies in California last week.
wow,
Yeah,
really last week
last week in Sacramento area,
West
Northern
of the
California.
west of the Rockies.
And I looked it up, and they said tornadoes usually don't happen on the west of the Continental Divide.
Yeah,
And I looked up Continental Divide, and that's basically the Rockies.
West of the
yeah,
Rockies.
wow, that's what the article said. West of yeah,
It said Continental Divide.
About,
West of the
about
Continental Divide. Yep.
north of the Rio Grande.
Yeah. yeah. They could just say California. Tornadoes usually don't happen in California, but the guy was pretty lazy, and the story had to get out. As always, we love you guys. Again, be normal. Yeah, don't drive yourself crazy. And thank you as always, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.